Good morning. Just getting started here. We'll pull up a few things and then we'll get going. All right. Going to pop that out. And going to pop that out. Which I hope these are both still here. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Not sure what just happened there. Okay. Throw you over there. And bring that back up. And go back. Go in here. All right. And here we go. Down. All right. Everything's looking pretty good. Here we go. Back over to here. Bag 5 up. All right, so I'm just starting where we left off yesterday. Bag 5 of the Medieval Seaside Market. Here we go. Dirt here. What was that? Okay. All right, live view. There we go. Okay. It's so weird. When I do this stream on Sunday, I get 0 views. I do it on Saturday, I get a ton of views. I don't know. Maybe somebody will join. Till then, I'll just hang out, keep my own company. Hey, good morning. Just working through the Seaside Market. We're on bag 5. I see coming actually to a close on it. So, what I do here is I build stop motion videos of the builds. So, you might see around YouTube like speed builds and that kind of thing. And this is similar, but I do my best not to have my hands or anything during the entire build. I do a lot of transitional animations and that sort of thing. So instead of like seeing a hand come in and grab something and move it, you will see the pieces move, which I think is a lot more fun. And here's a good example of that right here. We're going to have to do a rotation. This whole tower is going to move. So I'm going to start a new scene. So we can get that rotation going. Just move it a little bit there. A little bit more. And I can remove the sticky tack. So I don't know if you can see that there. That's how I keep everything moving around when I'm placing stuff. Used to use masking tape a long time ago. I've used a couple different kinds of sticky tack. I think I finally found the good stuff. So we're just moving this around in a circle so we can get a better look at the next piece, or where the next pieces will go. Oh, hi, party of me. How are you today? Sorry, I just saw your chat. That's pretty good so far. It's early in the morning. All right, let's see how that looks. Yeah, it's pretty quick swipe there. Just slow it down a little bit more. And just like barely move it on this last frame. Where are you from? Always curious where people are watching from. All right. Gonna re-tack this back down. Okay, cool. Georgia. I'm from Illinois. Right. All right. Get our sticky tack back on there. Gonna press this into place. Try to get it as close as possible to where it was. a little bit of movement's okay because we were moving it in the first place, so it doesn't have to be perfect at this point. You can kind of see, hopefully, some of the blurriness here. That means that there was movement. Let's see how that it moves a little bit too much, and the bird jumped. So let me move him back here, I think. Slide that forward. That's not great. All right, let's see. That was too abrupt, I think. Just, I don't know, looks funny. Try that. That's okay. All right. So I'm done with that little spin. Gonna go back to building. And I always do a separate scene for the build versus animating stuff. It just makes it easier for me when I put all these together in an actual video. Okay. So we've got to build this little side thing here. Oh, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. This community has been really fun and awesome and supportive. And it's just fun to build Lego. So I'm glad that other people are enjoying what I'm doing here. Okay, so we gotta go 4/3 up. And I try to do the side assemblies in place where I can. And just because it's a lot less work, and sometimes it doesn't make sense to build it on the side and then move it in. So far, the Seaside Market's been pretty fun. I haven't got that far into it yet. Just this first tower. The Bricklink designer stuff is interesting. The building techniques they use are a lot different. Just earlier in the build, it was really weird because there were all these loose parts and nothing seemed like it fit together, but then it did eventually straighten up. No, I don't work for Lego. I'm not affiliated with them at all. All the sets that I do, I buy on my own and build because I like them. All right. And this channel's not even monetized yet, so I'm totally just just doing this for fun at this point. Okay, I'm trying to get the tape off of this because we got to put this rope on next. Which I think I might animate on there. I think it'd be cool to do like put this on and then do something like this and then animate it rolling up. That could be cool. I'm going to set that right there. I think that looks okay. And then I'm going to put the other blocking piece there. It's going to keep the rope from moving on us. That looks like... okay, so you got to take this off. See, this is those weird building techniques I was talking about. You actually have to take a piece off and put it back on for this. And that caused the rope to move a lot. All right, yeah, we'll see you around. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so I got that back in place. Now we've got this hook on the end. We'll sit on there. Okay, so that looks really weird. That clam moved a lot. Okay, that's really quick. So I'm gonna animate the rope rolling up. So I can do a new scene at 24 frames. Okay. And got the shot set up. Looks good. Don't need to change any focus. All right. So I'm just actually gonna move this. And all I need to do is twist it up just like I would normally, just a lot slower. We'll see all this start to move. I can go a little faster now. A little faster. Make sure that doesn't move too much because it's not super secure. Okay, I'm gonna do like almost a full turn here. See that what that looks like so far. It looks pretty good. Do half turns. Maybe like a quarter turn. Shoot. And then I can come back and add like a cool rope sound effect to this once it's all done. All right. It's going pretty well today. Almost there. All right, I'm gonna start slowing this down, and I want this little nub to be right on top. That'll be the end of the animation. There we go. That looks decent. Ship it. All right. Let's see what's next in the instructions. All right, so we need to add in this blocking in the front, and then there's that there, and then what happens? We just keep building on some details until the tower's done. Put the flag in, spin it around. There was a minifigure, but I didn't see him in the instructions at all. Oh, he was on the first page. We could probably figure out something cool to do with him too. All right. Okay, so now back to a little bit of building. And we're going to do this blocking here. So I'm going to start with that arch piece because it's going to mess with our rope a little bit. There we go. And yeah, just that corner there, which I must have missed in a previous step. But that's okay. We can add it in now. I'm always missing pieces. Sometimes if you go back and look at my videos, you'll see. If you pay close attention, things will not be there, and then they'll suddenly appear in a future step because I'll realize and then go back. Hey, welcome back, party of me. Just continuing on here with the build. I think that's just a normal corner here. Back over. Okay. So this, is that the piece that goes in there? Yes, it is. I'm going to cheat a little bit and put two pieces at once. Keep that right there. All right. Don't tell anybody. I cheated. I did two pieces at once. All right, now we're gonna add some detailing around the top here. What was my favorite set to build? I think in recent memory, probably the Amelia Steamboat. That was really fun. Like, I think I blasted through that set in just a couple of days just because it was so much fun to build. Yeah, the river steamboat. It was awesome. It's an idea set, just came out in April, I think it was. And it's huge. But it was just a ton of fun. I've been really surprised by Lego's original themes, like the dream stuff and the like city stuff. There's always something surprising in those sets. Like they just have really great minifigures and like interesting parts. So, what about you? What's your favorite set that you built recently? All right, now I'll build the top here. I think this is just going to go around like this. Over here. Oh, that's weird. It like skips a piece. Wonder what's gonna go there. Okay. Yeah, we are just moving right along here. This tower is almost done. The Disney Castle. I have not built that one. Hey Jeffy. Yeah, it it takes a while, but once it gets going, I think it's not too much more than building a regular Lego set once you get everything in place and ready to go. All right, now we got the detailing here on the top. And then I'll do a little animation for the minifig, and then we'll move on to the next section. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, so just trying to think. I can think of something to be really funny, but I don't have the skills to do it. I don't know if you've ever seen the bad lip reading seagulls. Stop it now. Well, we had this little seagull here. It'd be really funny to have that seagull attack the guy. I don't know if I could do that though. Unfortunately. Okay. I just have him like build in. Get in the tower. And wave. It's really dark though. Put him back here. See if that's any more visible. Just barely. Oh, that's a cool helmet piece. Throw him on there. I think that's it. Now we just gotta add like a little bit of detail, like some flags. So I'm gonna do an animation to spin this around, then I'll be zoomed, and then I'll zoom it out first. So let's go 24. Okay. Let's just going to adjust the tripod because I want to zoom out a bit because we're going to be adding some height. That looks okay. Now our camera moved, we've got to adjust our focus. So let me hop over to here. And zoom way in. See, it's kind of blurry there. There we go. That looks much better. All right. Grab a shot of that. And now I need this to turn this way. So just barely little tiny bit of movement. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, now I can take the sticky tack off the bottom here. So it can speed things up a little bit. And just about where we need to be here. So we'll slow down. Let's see how that looks. Looks pretty good. There's a little bit of jiggle at the end on the hook, so it looks like it's moving. So that's cool how that turned out. All right. Now, get some sticky tack on here. You seagull. I keep hitting that seagull. It's just jumping everywhere today. One more piece should do it. All right, now we've got to get this as close as possible. Where we were. That's pretty close. That seagull jumped. Where was he before? Down there. All right, I'm gonna move him. Camera settings. So I've got a Canon RS50, but I've got it set here. I have like a manual zoom lens, and I keep the aperture pretty low because I have 3 really bright lights. And then I just keep the manual color temperature at 4700. And I keep the ISO all the way down because there's just so much light. I don't need that extra boost. Hopefully that helps. I'm not like a big camera person, so sorry. Okay, so we got all that. All right, let's see what's next in the instructions here. Okay, we've got this flag, so we can hop back to a new scene for building. Yeah, I could probably put like my setup, all the lights and camera and tripod and everything I use in the description. People are interested in that. If I was looking to build these or like do any kind of stop motion, that would be helpful because I remember trying to find everything when I first started was really tough. People were always really vague about like what they did. Maybe they're like me and they just didn't know. It was a guess. All right, put this flag in here. This is why we had to zoom out, because this tall flag piece. We got yellow on the bottom, red on the top. Okay, and then I think there is. Okay, so that's why we had that skipped piece earlier. Hey there, LEGO Tours, welcome back. Building a torch. All right. I think we're on to the next bag here, which is a new build. So this is looking like it's pretty modular, surprisingly. I wasn't really expecting that. Maybe I just didn't look into it enough. I'm sure the information was out there, but that's really cool that it has all these different sections. So now we're going to do like, looks like a seaside market section. So we figure out how to transition this out. It doesn't make sense for, well, it's Lego. It doesn't have to make sense. I'm gonna actually just have this thing slide out of view because the tower is done. All right, so I'm gonna have it slide to the right. There. Take the tack off. We will just keep moving right along here. Now there are tools in here that I use sometimes. Like you can set guidelines and draw lines so you can keep track of where you want it to go. But I think for this, I'll just freehand it. I don't need to spend a lot of time on this. All right, that's off the screen. Zoom. Okay. gonna set this over here to the side. We are on bag 6 now. Pop that open. Throw these in my spare parts bowl. These bags for this Bricklink set have been fairly small, which is really surprising to me. But there's like 80 of them. Okay, so I'm going to do a new animation scene. I want to slide these plates into place. And I think I can do something cool. Maybe it'll come in upside down and flip over. But let me get the shot set up. So this is going to be this piece. There's a spare bag here. Plate out of third plate, or is it just the two? Looks like just the two. Okay. So this probably be about right there. I'm gonna adjust the camera. Lower. Further forward. Right there would be good. Okay. So now we can zoom in, test the focus. That looks good. All right. Whoa. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get, actually, I want to set this up where I was and where I was talking about those drawing tools earlier. I'm going to use that because I want this to slide in exactly where I'm putting it now. So just to give myself a guide and a goal, so just create a line here. And there's my back line. I want it to slide in from this way. So I'm just going to follow those studs all the way to the edge. All right, so now I know that corner where I want to end up. And I've done this a few times. So I'm going to have this actually come in upside down. Just get the first corner there. I'll slide. Slide. A bit more. Okay, now I'm going to have this flip. So the way that I can do that is sticky tack. So I'm just going to put a little bit under here. Let this slide forward a bit. It looks like it's raising up. Add more sticky tack. So it's raising up a bit more. Maybe a lot more. You see it's starting to lift. And if I move it like further back, I can get it even higher. Put a little bit bottom to keep this down. Like that. Okay. And then it's going to be a quick lift. And then we can start dropping it down. It's going to drop really fast because gravity. We'll start lining that back up. That might be too much movement. Let's see. No, it's not bad. Okay, I'll take that off for one frame. So it's going to hit. And then I'm going to have it bounce up a little bit too. So a little sticky tack under there. And slide forward a little bit. Boom. A little bit higher, not much though. A little bit more of a slide. Okay, then come down. The software I'm using is called Dragon Frame. It is specifically for stop motion animation. It has a bunch of tools that I don't use, but I especially like the drawing tool that I'm using here. There we go, that looks pretty good. Boom. Okay. And just kind of slide it into place. So if you've ever watched like any stop motion movie or cartoon, then the people making it probably use this software. It has like a lot of built-in stuff for professional like robotic rigs so that you can move the camera around with electronics, which I don't have, so I don't use that. It has tools for doing mouth animations. So if you have like a script, it'll show you what positions to put the mouth in for different words. And all sorts of fun stuff. I am just very basic when it comes to animation. Okay. That looks pretty good. Flips over, slides in. Okay. I might actually have this other piece slide in from the side as well. Just a normal slide in. Cool. That looks pretty good. All right. Tack this back down. into place. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got this is my first camera. It's a Canon EOS R50. I just grabbed it because I knew like a lot of professionals used Canons, and you can actually have special software installed on it that helps with stop motion. I don't have that, but that's why I went the Canon route. And it wasn't that; it was more on the cheaper side. But, and like I pay for everything myself. I don't have any sponsorships or anything like that. So it's what I can afford. All right. So I'm gonna start building this cascade of bricks across. Start that. I'm just gonna start left to right. Yeah, I think I'm novice here too. There's nothing wrong with that. You got to start somewhere. It seems out of focus. Let me test that. No, that looks good. Okay. Just the preview is so blurry. Good. Okay. Just a regular 1x4 brick. Across there. Whoop. Scooch that over. Stop going back and forth. All right. Next step. Okay, we got some blue plates and these long pieces. What's going on this corner here? Another blue plate. So I don't want to put this on and then the plate. I want to actually put the plate there. So I'm gonna, since we ended here last, I'm gonna go this piece, then that large one. And this is a 4x8, which is this guy. Get some tack on that. Now, I know a lot of people that do, like a lot of channels that do these stop motion builds, build the set and then take it apart. They go backwards. I, I don't do that. I've tried it. It doesn't work for me. It's like all the, like, I don't know. I feel like the model moves way too much when I do that. Okay, this is a 6x8. I think it's this guy. Yeah. sticky tack. I'm constantly fighting to keep things still. There's a lot of times where it's just impossible. Okay, and then this is a 6 by like 10. This piece, I think. Yeah. More tack. Grab a little bit here. I think a lot of people go backwards because they don't necessarily want to keep the final model, is one reason. So you're taking it apart, then you can put the pieces in storage. Another thing is you don't have to think forward, right? So I'm building this here, but what if this was going to be a really tall tower? It would go out of frame. So if you're going backwards, you already know the proportions of everything. It's a lot easier to get it centered in the camera. I get around that a little bit by moving forward in the instructions and then kind of planning out my next steps. It makes it a little bit easier for me, but I still kind of build myself into a corner sometimes. And I get around that by doing jump cuts and things like that into new scenes. So I think it's easier from a like cinematic standpoint to know what the final model looks like, so you can get it looking right in the shot. So I think that's why a lot of people do them backwards. Okay. Got this bottom layer here. I'm just going to build from here over. So I'll do this part first. Yeah, and then you just do the animation backwards. In Dragon Frame, you can actually set it up to go backwards. So on the right is the forward moving, left is backward moving. You can move the onion skin the other way so you can see as you're taking stuff away what it looks like. So it's pretty common, definitely supported in the tools. But I haven't figured out how to do it properly yet. And if I'm building something, I bought it myself and I'm going to display it. So I don't want to have to build it a second time necessarily. Right. Whoop. There. And there. Zoom out a little bit. Then we can just move from left to right all the way across because we're already over here. So we'll just do everything in a row there. Make that a little smaller. Zoom out a little bit. Okay. Got you. Yeah, I think if this was a an official Lego set, this build process would be different because these are like super flimsy. But I have a feeling it'll come back around, straighten itself out. Oh man, I put the wrong piece in there. Just realized. Go back to. Whoop. Should be there. It's these sloped pieces. I think this will probably be my final bag for the day. Well, for now, might come back to it later today. We'll see if I have time. Okay, then we got these. Got that guy. All right. Oop, I missed. I forgot to put this piece in there, so I'll just put it in now. That makes sense contextually anyway. That could go there. All right, so I'm over here on the right side. I need to put some pieces over here on the left. Is there anything in between I can put to make my way over there before I do that? Yeah, a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So we've got another plate that we can set. So I'm gonna go ahead and set these base plates first. Looks like we've got a 6x8 base plate. There's this guy. Need even more attack here. Two pieces on the bottom, a little piece on each side. We'll keep this thing from sliding around. All right. Two there. And then we've got a 2x4 brick. Wait a minute. We got this brick. Forgot to put this here. Do that now. That can go there. This can go here. All right. We've got another, it's like 6x10. Here. Get a little bit of sticky tack on that. Press that into place. Building time plus time to edit. I would say I don't really keep track of the hours. But every 1,000 pieces of a set is probably a week of time between editing and building for me. And that's working on it just in my spare time. So like Hours though. I don't know. That's hard to say. I should keep track of it. I've thought of putting like a timer in place just to see, but I'm afraid of what the number is. But so like for this set is 2,560 pieces. It'd probably take me, but this set is going fast though. I don't know. It'll probably take me the end of this week to finish the build and then a few days for the editing. I can edit pretty fast because I just have just the flow that I use. And maybe I could stream that too. That'd be fun. All right, I'm not going to bother with the attack on that piece because we are going to attach it right away. Like that. But yeah, I would say probably 40 hours per 1,000 pieces, roughly. What in the world? What did I miss here? Okay, yeah, I missed this. This goes onto that one. That goes there, tying everything together. Now we can come back and put that piece. And finally that piece. All right, and that is it for bag 6. So it's kind of a preview. Bag 7. Take a look at that. There's this 2 little crabby guys coming up. And everything else looks pretty standard. All right. I've been doing these videos for about 1.5 years now. Like every video I've made, I put on my channel. So if you go all the way back to my first one was the Lego Wally's idea set. And if you take a look at that, I shot that one on my phone with horrible lighting. I've come a long way for sure, but yeah, about 1.5 years. All right, well, thanks everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm gonna take off. I hope to do some more building, maybe later tonight, but definitely tomorrow morning. All right, see everybody later.